Did you know that Estonia has more meteorite craters per square kilometer than any other country on Earth? This small northern European nation boasts an abundance of these celestial imprints, contributing to a unique and captivating landscape. These craters have not only shaped the physical terrain but also influenced the cultural heritage and historical narratives of Estonia. They've been woven into local folklore, inspiring awe and intrigue for generations. Now let's delve into the fascinating history of this meteorite-rich country. The history of Estonia dates back to more than 10,000 years ago. The land that we now know as Estonia was home to some of the earliest human settlements in Europe. These ancient inhabitants, known as the Estonians, were hunter-gatherers who lived off the land, following the migration of animals and the growth of plants. Imagine a time when the vast forests of Estonia were teeming with life, when the Baltic Sea was a source of sustenance, and the open landscapes were a canvas for these early people to paint their stories. These stories, etched in stone and wood, are the earliest records of human life in this region. The first permanent settlements in Estonia started appearing around 5,000 years ago. These were mainly coastal and riverine communities that relied heavily on fishing and farming. The Estonians built their homes from wood and stone, creating a landscape dotted with small, sturdy homesteads. Over time, these communities grew and evolved, influenced by the cultures and traditions of neighboring regions. The Baltic tribes to the south, the Finno-Ugric peoples to the east, and the Scandinavians to the west all left their mark on the evolving Estonian culture. Trade routes began to form, connecting the Estonians to a larger world. They traded amber, furs, and honey for metals and luxury goods, becoming a key link in the trade networks of the ancient world. But life in ancient Estonia was not just about survival and trade. There was also a rich spiritual life. The Estonians worshipped a pantheon of gods, each associated with elements of nature. Sacred groves, hill forts, and stone circles were common sites, each a testament to the deep spiritual beliefs of these early people. Fast forward a few centuries, and we arrive at a key turning point in Estonian history. From the 13th century onwards, Estonia was under foreign rule for several centuries. This period of subjugation began with the Danes, who first set foot in Estonia during the Northern Crusades in the early part of the 13th century. Their influence was felt in the north of the country, where they introduced Christian beliefs and a feudal system. Following the Danish period, the Germans, specifically the Teutonic Order, took control of Estonia in the mid-13th century, marking a period of significant cultural impact. They introduced a new legal system, built stone fortresses, and left a lasting influence on the Estonian language, with numerous German loanwords still used today. In the mid-16th century, the Swedish era began. During their rule, they made a profound impact on education by establishing the University of Tartu, which is still a beacon of learning in Estonia today. The Swedish reign is often referred to as the good old Swedish times due to the relative peace and progress made during this period. Finally, the Russian Empire took over Estonia in the early 18th century, following the Great Northern War. During this time, serfdom was abolished, and the Estonian national awakening began, leading to a revival of the Estonian language and culture. However, the Russian rule was also marked by Russification policies, which sought to suppress Estonian traditions and language. Each of these foreign powers left their mark on Estonia, shaping its culture, language, and society in different ways. The Danish introduced Christianity, the Germans brought their legal system and language influences, the Swedes boosted education, and the Russians sparked a national awakening. Yet through all these periods of foreign rule, one thing remained constant: the resilience of the Estonian people. Despite the centuries of foreign rule, the Estonians held on to their unique identity. They preserved their language, kept their traditions alive, and their spirit unbroken. This strong sense of identity was a vital factor in their eventual struggle for independence, a battle that they would not embark on until the 20th century. But that, dear listeners, is a story for another time. The 20th century brought both freedom and oppression for Estonia. The early part of the 20th century was a time of significant change for Estonia. Following the turmoil of the First World War, the nation emerged as an independent entity in 1918. This was a sweet but short-lived victory. The 22 years of independence that followed were a whirlwind of development and progress. Culturally, economically, and politically, Estonia was on a fast track to establishing its identity on the world stage. But then came the dark clouds of the Second World War, and with them, the Soviet Union. In 1940, Estonia was occupied by the Soviet forces, marking the beginning of a half-century of Soviet rule. The impact of this era was profound and far-reaching. Estonia's economy was forced into the mold of the Soviet command economy. Agriculture was collectivized. Private enterprise was virtually eliminated. Even the Estonian language was suppressed in favor of Russian. It was a time when freedom of speech and thought were luxuries few could afford. Soviet rule also had a dramatic impact on Estonian society. The population underwent significant changes as many Estonians fled, were deported, or were executed, and a large number of Russians were relocated to Estonia. The demographic shift was so significant that by the end of the Soviet era, ethnic Estonians made up just over 60% of the population. Despite the hardships, the Estonian spirit remained undeterred. Throughout the Soviet era, Estonians nurtured their culture and identity in secret, passing on their traditions and language from generation to generation. In the late 1980s, as the Soviet Union began to crumble, Estonia saw its chance. The Singing Revolution, a series of mass singing events, became a symbol of national resistance. And finally, in 1991, Estonia regained its independence. The end of the Soviet era, however, marked the beginning of a new chapter for Estonia. Today, Estonia stands as a proud, independent nation known for its innovative spirit and natural beauty. A nation that has risen from the ashes of its tumultuous past, Estonia has embraced the future with open arms and an unyielding resolve. The transition to independence in the early 90s was a turning point for Estonia. With a renewed national identity, the country set its sights on rapid economic development. And it's safe to say, they've achieved it. Today, Estonia boasts one of the highest gross domestic product growth rates in the European Union. But the country didn't stop there. Estonia has earned a name for itself as a global leader in technology. It's been dubbed the Silicon Valley of Europe, with more startups per capita than any other country in the world. From pioneering digital governance to launching world-renowned tech companies, Estonia has demonstrated that innovation is at its heart. Digital governance in Estonia is a marvel to behold. It's the first country to offer e-residency, a digital identity available to anyone in the world. This allows global citizens to start and manage businesses online under Estonian jurisdiction. It's a testament to Estonia's forward-thinking approach and adaptability. But it's not all about the digital world. Estonia also has a rich cultural scene that intertwines the traditional with the contemporary. From vibrant music festivals to thought-provoking art exhibitions, Estonia is a celebration of creativity and expression. Its capital, Tallinn, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, where medieval architecture sits alongside modern design, reflecting the country's journey through time. And let's not forget Estonia's stunning landscapes. With over half the country covered in forest and a coastline that stretches for nearly 2,000 miles, Estonia is a haven for nature lovers. The country's commitment to conservation is reflected in its 5 national parks and numerous nature reserves. Estonia may be small, but it certainly packs a punch. With a blend of innovation, culture, and natural beauty, this Baltic gem continues to surprise and inspire. It's a testament to what a nation can achieve with determination, resilience, and a vision for the future. Estonia's journey from ancient settlements to a modern, tech-savvy nation is truly fascinating. This small Baltic nation has a rich tapestry of history, dating back thousands of years. We delved into the deep past, exploring the first human settlements that found home in this land of forests and lakes. We saw how these ancient communities thrived, leaving behind a legacy etched in rune stones and enshrined in folklore. As we moved forward in time, we navigated the tumultuous periods of foreign rule. From the Danish and Swedish reigns to the imposing shadow of the Russian Tsar, Estonia was a chess piece in the game of European powers. Yet the spirit of the Estonian people remained unbroken. The 20th century brought a glimmer of hope with a brief spell of independence. only to be eclipsed by the looming specter of the Soviet Union. This era left an indelible mark on the nation, shaping its political, social, and cultural landscape. In the aftermath of the Soviet occupation, Estonia emerged as a phoenix from the ashes, embracing modernity with open arms. Today, it stands as a beacon of digital innovation, a testament to its resilience and forward-thinking mentality. So we come full circle, from ancient settlements to a tech-savvy nation. Estonia's journey is a compelling narrative of survival, resilience, and reinvention. From meteorite craters to digital innovation, Estonia is a country that continually surprises and delights. Thank you for joining us on this journey through its history.
We hope you enjoy our video, and if you want to know more interesting facts on more different topics, then please show us some love with a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you and have a nice day.